Greetings, everyone. Happy Friday. I am really excited to be here. I'm always excited to be here, though, guys. I just really love to talk. Are you struggling? It's okay. We're going into a new cycle. The struggle is okay. Don't resist the struggle. Um, but also don't resist it. And when you resist it, it flows. It doesn't get blocked up. Hi, Holistic Shine. So I see that you're here, but you'll have to let me see if I can give you a request. If I can request you to join. Like, you have to hit the little request button. Greetings, everyone. Yeah, so I need you to hit the little request button. It won't allow me to. All right. So Tamu is going to come in and talk with me for a minute, so I'm just waiting for her. Okay, there. Got it. All right. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Tamu is coming in. Here she is. Hi there.
Hi, how are
How
you?
you doing? It's good to see you.
Yeah.
You're so pretty. Every time I see you, I'm like, she's so pretty. She's just so pretty. And I can always see your little girl. Like, I can visibly experience your 10-year-old.
Maybe it's the hair
Maybe it is. That is.
braids when I was little. Not so much, actually. When I was
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, thank you for coming. So Tamu, tell people about who you are, because I love your own work. Before we talk about the moon work, just say who you are and what you do.
sure. Um, so I, um,
Your sound is going in and out. Like, I
oh,
can't hear you.
hmm, I, what?
Okay, so I'm going to set an intention for clarity, because the moon is in Gemini, so the communication is clear as it can be. I can hear you so clearly. Okay.
I hope so. Oh,
Every other word.
let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure why. That was off.
Okay, let's just try it. Go for it.
Um, a lot of stuff with the wind.
Hmm. Okay, try now.
Yeah, I can find someone.
Yeah, like your mouth is moving, no words, no sound. Mouth moving, no sound coming out.
Strange. Let me see. Okay. Oh yeah, maybe I can leave. I'll try like shift this.
Okay.
Do you want to
Say
and
it again.
maybe I can leave and join again.
Okay, that was very clear what you just said.
Okay.
Okay, that's getting better. Okay.
Maybe it's clearing up.
Okay. Okay, great. Go ahead. Now
Let
go.
like I said, I'm based in Oakland. I'm a mom of three. I work with homeschool families for the last, oh my gosh, 22 years. I also have my wellness businesses, Holistic Shine, where I take people on 21-day raw food detox journeys and all up in weeks. And then I also have a I offer flower essences to support and harmonize the emotional well-being and also other diving into other yummy botanical offerings.
Awesome. I love that. And I use your offerings. I use your your flower essences. Like this one is Clarity,
Yes.
and I just put a couple of drops, and when I tell you, it works. Like I'll take it before I'm going to do something, and my clarity is better.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday I used the Soul Fire one, and I was going to do a podcast, and as life would have it, the person who invited me to be on the podcast overslept. It was like at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they overslept, and so someone else stepped in to interview me who didn't know anything about astrology or even how to talk to me or even what questions. But because I had the Soul Fire, I was present, and I led the interview from behind.
Mm, beautiful.
So the flower essences really add a great deal. So thank you for coming today. I invited Tamu because Tamu has been participating in the 13 Moons work for the last 6 months or so. And I wanted to have someone here who could actually do it justice because, like, I'm so enmeshed in the work, like, it just becomes your life. And it's not as easy to discuss, but because you are in it and I wanted you to talk about how like just I don't I don't even want to ask a particular question. I just want you to share what's on your heart before I ask a question about the work.
Yes. So I will say that I really, I'm still learning about astrology. I really don't know much and always kind of intimidated and not knowing how to approach working with my astrological sign or even signs that are present, sun and the moon and all of the other planets. But I was listening. I went,
Okay, your sound. Hold on a
oh,
second.
oh.
Let's set another intention. So it's my intention that you are heard clearly. It's my like I release anything in me that has fear of being completely seen in the work that I do. Like I'm really willing to allow this to be a clear experience. Okay, thank you. Go again.
Oh, I want Monique.
Nope.
No. Oh my. Maybe I'm gonna shift positions in my rooms.
Okay.
Let's see if that works. Okay. Now, can you hear?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let's see if this works. So I was sharing that I went down the rabbit hole of Instagram and found Monique. And can you hear me now, Monique?
I can perfectly.
Okay. And on one of your talks, where you mentioned how there's a new moon 6 months later, the full moon will be in that astrological sign. And when there's a full moon, 6 months later in the new moon. So it's like this dance that I never understood. And as soon as you said that, I was like, okay, I need to learn astrology from her because she finally said something that I can grasp onto and understand. If I don't understand anything else, I can see that pattern continuing to repeat. And so I booked a birth chart. My birthday was in December, and I booked a birth chart reading as a form of reciprocity to Monique for all of her free shares every day on Instagram. And yeah, she just spoke the truth of my journey um, and stepping more fully into my power, being stuck as a Capricorn and all of these things. And then she mentioned the moon work, and there was a cycle starting in January, and I jumped in. So this has been 7 cycles now,
Mm-hmm.
actually. And Yeah, in the beginning, I was very attentive to each phase and every single day paying so much attention. And as I've moved out in the 7 months, I've learned how to kind of flow and navigate with the cycle without paying attention to it to the T, but always seeing the way that the phases, whether it's the clearing phase or the seeing phase, showing up in my life, and I'm able to take note of that. And I always try to go in at least at the very end of that phase and make a note in my moon journal about how that phase showed up for me, so
Mm-hmm.
that when I come to completion in the using phase, I can kind of bring it all in. And what Monique invites us to do is to brag.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we're a little bit apprehensive to brag about our successes, but I do it anyway because it's an opportunity to really honor the work of the whole cycle.
Yes.
But what I will say is there was a moment after 6 months where I thought, I'm good. Monique always encourages, you can go do this work on your own. You don't necessarily need, but I think when it comes to last um, full moon and the axis and the full moon pulse is just so beautiful. Um, Mostly women, mostly Black women. And it is just such a beautiful, powerful container to support each other and hear these testaments of how the cycle showed up. And so I can't let that go. I,
Yeah.
I actually unsubscribed. And then we had our one of our calls, and I was like, no, there's no way I'm leaving this community. And so I went right back in before the new cycle started. And so I haven't missed a beat.
Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So thank you for that. First of all, I really love that we get to come together as a community and we get to see the miracles and the magic coming alive in our lives. That's the thing, right? So how would you say the work has impacted your life? Like what's different about your life that
Well,
yeah.
yes. Holding, so at the beginning at the beginning of the in the planting phase, where
Mhm.
at our objective or our intention for the month, it's just a way to put that down on paper and then see it through a whole cycle of how many phases are there? Nine. I
Yeah. Mhm.
um to see that intention all the way through and see ways in which the universe, spirit, the astrology is speaking to that particular objective or intention. And what I know from myself, my lesson in this life is patience. And so I don't see necessarily see the result of that intention in that cycle. But what
Mhm.
Monique reminds us is that that cycle will unfold. The new moon where we plant seeds, the full moon 6 months later is in that same astrological sign, and that is actually where I have seen my intentions that I set 6 months ago manifest. And they have. And tedious little things like one of my intentions was to really get my house in order, wipe down walls and repaint and change the faucet and a doorknob. All of that got done. It took 6 months. It took 6 months because I ended up breaking my ankle and I was down, and none of it happened when I thought I wanted to put it in place, but it did happen. By 6 months later, we were in. One another thing that came up at the end of the cycle was, you know, asking my adult daughter to move out, and I'm telling you, like on the T on the 6 month blank, moving out, like literally picking up her things and going, and I was sweeping the room as the 6 month cycle came.
But this is the thing that I love about it the most. So we set these intentions, and then the universe almost we set the intentions, we do the rituals,
Yeah,
right?
of
It's
course.
not about trying to figure anything out. It's not about like, it's literally setting the intention. I do the magic in the background. Like I do, like I'm in a constant space of ritual for this community and for this work. And I have all sorts of things in place. And then we all do the rituals together and then it just unfolds, right? You don't have to force it or worry or struggle, or it just goes
Yeah.
right?
Yes, don't worry about the how. How is it going to happen? Just look for the signs, follow the guidance, move with it, and things open up. And yes, I don't even capacity at which Monique is holding the container on the in her way. I'm familiar with that when I do lead my raw food detoxes. For 21 days, I have an altar. I'm actually dosing the participants with flower essences. And they don't necessarily know that there's an altar. There's an altar for that container that I'm for 21 days. A lot of work behind the scenes that's happening, and I don't, like Monique said, and it's actually even now that I'm even more aware of that, that work. And I will say that the processes Monique always shares, um, if I had a dollar for every time Monique said this is so intense, and it's also intense because she's so aware of the astrology, and it's also intense because you're holding the container for all of us.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you could use
It's
the white yarrow halo because that is one of the winners and good healthy boundaries. So you do so much work for the collective that that would be a good effort for you.
Thank you. I have that one. I'm going to use it. That's great. This is perfect. This thank you so much for this because I'm not I need people who are in the work to talk about the benefit of the work. And it touches the things in our lives that we don't consider. Like, maybe you're going through a rough patch with your partner or your child and you set an intention and the intention will do the work. You don't have to go in and yell or shout or scream or punish. You just set the intention. We do the rituals and then it's like, oh, it happened.
Yeah,
And this is why I call it everyday practical magic. This is why I'm saying that when we come together as a community and we hold and we do rituals and we're honest with ourselves, not with other people. It's not about others. When we're honest with ourselves about how we're feeling and we're taking responsibility, the universe has this way of coming in and saying, okay.
yeah.
It's amazing.
And I just want, and I hear all that you're saying, and that is the feminine. So the moon work is the divine feminine, the inner world, the receptiveness, the allowing rather than forcing it to happen. And
Yes.
we tap into that feminine energy through doing moon work. And one thing I forgot to share at the when I started this cycle, I had the reading with Monique, and I had my what now is my last moon blood was in mid-December.
Mm.
And as soon as I stepped, it was like my monthly blood stopped, and this moon work came in and took place of the moon work that I was doing with my monthly moon, working with
Yes.
my moon blood and offering the intentions with my plants. That is gone. And now this moon work has stepped in to replace that, which I keep going back to that and just saying, how powerful is that? Not to be your situation at all. But for me, it just like so clear. This is
Yeah.
what I'm doing now.
Yes. I mean the synchronicities that show
Yeah.
up when we start to do the moon work,
Yes.
it's mind boggling.
Yeah.
Like literally every day something happens where I'm like, wow, that happened
Yeah.
because this the world, like I keep saying, what we see physically is only 5% of what's really alive.
That's
That when we start to do the moon work, we start to organize the invisible realities. Our ancestors get on board with us, our spirit guide, because because we set these intentions with this cosmology, and it's amazing. It has changed my life, and I'm really grateful that you're here, Tamu. And it's like
Yes.
what you add, the value that you add, and I have seen you shift. Your business is growing. Like you have reorganized yourself. Like your life is it's and what happened, this is what I want to say, as we mature, it's often difficult for us to get out of patterns because it's how it is. Like the transitions become challenging sometimes
Yes.
because we are in one mode of operating, and but the moon work helps, so you're like, okay, oh, that just shifted, that transition that I did. Okay, see you later.
Yes. Well, your the clarity that you gave me in the birth chart reading just like is the driving force for all of that, and
Yeah.
recognizing that I've been in a almost like a holding pattern for many years, being a Capricorn sun and rising.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and just reflecting on that and moving forward.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for saying yes to being here today. If there's anything else you want to say about any of the work you're doing or any projects you have coming up, please do. And then,
Sure. Well, yes, like I said, I offer 21-day raw food detox journeys. It's virtual, so you get to join 4 Saturdays, or actually one of them is a Monday, but 4 times we gather as a group to move through a 21-day detox journey, and it's a holistic detox journey. So it is about eating, and preparing raw food, but also so much more than that. It's such a powerful commitment for 20 days to be supported by me and the community. And yeah, it's the registration is now open.
mhm.
So go to my page, go to my link tree and register and dive in. If you have any questions, you can always send me a message through a DM through Instagram or an email, and I'm happy to support you in taking the leap of faith to.
And what's your page? Where can they find you?
Yes, it's holistic underscore shine. So holistic WH.
Thank you so much. I
Well,
really appreciate you. I love you, and I'll see you. We start a
yeah,
new cycle today. All
yeah.
right. Bye.
I,
All right, everyone. So that is Tamu coming in talking about our um, our moon cycle. Do you know how to let yourself out of here? Okay, yeah. So thank you, Tamu, for that. Okay, so the astrology. So I'm excited to see all of you guys in the moon work. The moon work is incredible. It has changed my life. The level of calm, the level of space that I've been able to create in my life, the level of magic that I have in my life now is just profound. Like literally, I step out and the ground lifts up with any circumstance in my life. Why? Because I have learned how to align it to the cosmology, my own astrology through intention and rituals, and it's so powerful. Okay, so today is the moon is in today is a Venus day. Yay, Venus. And Venus is in Leo. And Venus in Leo it's at the Venus is in Leo at the fifth degree, and the fifth degree is extension. It's this ability to extend ourselves through our creative practices, through our heart, through our passion, through our through being true to our individual creative expression. This energy is so supremely significant because it requires that we really know ourselves. Not only that we know ourselves, but that we know ourselves, and that we have the courage to cultivate our creativity. And many of us, I talk to people all the time who believe that creativity means that you can sing or dance or draw. That is not what creativity is, y'all. That is an aspect of creativity. That is an expression of creativity. But creativity is just you being you. It's really just you being true to your own personality. You knowing yourself, you knowing what you like, what makes you feel good. And then and then nurturing that, nurturing your creative self-expression. So for me, astrology is that. For me, astrology nurtures my creative self-expression. Nature nurtures my creative self-expression. Rituals nurture my creative self-expression. And because it's Venus, it's about feeling. Like, so you need to feel aligned to your heart. You need to feel active in your creative power. It needs to feel, like you need to feel. One of the things that's been up for me lately, let me say this, is I don't know why I've been stumbling upon like videos and things of people talking about being in relationships for things that are other than love. Do the astrology degrees correlate with numerology? Yeah, they do. They do. Um, I there's just one of the things that's important in our relationships. How we feel about ourselves is how we are going to experience others in our lives. If we don't feel good about ourselves, all the people in our life are going to feel the same about us as we feel about ourselves. It's just how it is, right? So this Venus in Leo is really asking you to fall in love with yourself. It is this opportunity to become deeply devoted and in love with who you are and how you're made and what you're up to. And if many of us, including myself, look for the affirmation and the feeling of love from an external force, a person, money, how things but that's not what love is at all. You cannot generate love externally. It's not possible. Love can only show up as a mirror to how you are with yourself, right? And so with this new moon that's coming up, literally we have an opportunity to set set the intention for how we show up for ourselves, how we love ourselves. And it's really a complex thing in this world, because we think that love has all these romantic notions and, oh, he gave me this, or she looks like this, or everybody like, but that's not what it is at all. It really is a deep, intimate connection with the self. And when you're deeply and intimately connected with yourself, you will attract that experience into your life. People can only love you as much as you love yourself. And so, what we have this opportunity to do is really fall in love with ourselves, where we're not looking or needing external approval, where our lives are not based upon what the world says. So many of us get into relationships because we're lonely. That's not love. We get into relationships because we should have somebody, or it looks, that's not love. That's not it at all. Love truly is this deep acceptance of the self in any form, in any state, in any condition, because you know that you are enough just because of who you are. Your worth and value isn't dependent upon anything external. And so when we truly love ourselves, and it's not based upon waiting for something, or I love myself when I'm a better size, or when I have more money, or when I have these things. When we're loving ourselves as we are right now, and it's unconditional, it's not dependent upon any external thing. When we love ourselves in that way, then we can have everything. So Venus in Leo is is like the most profound romantic connection to ourselves. Like I would rather be with myself than anybody else. I would rather do the thing that the creator has created me to do than be with Beyonce, or or the richest person in the. I would rather choose me and what it is that the God in me is trying to do through me than do anything else with anybody, because this is what I'm here to do. This is the thing that's doing this relationship with myself is the thing that's going to heal my karma, evolve me out of this dimension and into the next. There's nothing that I can access externally that's going to make this be, nothing can add to it. And so it's important. This is the work that I'm doing for myself right now, just like really getting that there is nothing outside of me that can take away from who I am or add anything to it. And this is the ultimate form of love. And until we can access truth in that, then we really are always making ourselves subject to something or someone externally. And you know it. So it's like for me, like I remember once I was dating this person and I would just feel afraid if the thought of them leaving me. I would get so much fear. And I was like, okay, then you're gonna have to let them leave, because you cannot be in a relationship where you're afraid of them going. Because if you're afraid of them going, then that means that there's something in you that needs to experience that. You need to experience them going. And then when they left, I realized, oh, I'm good. They're gone and I'm good. And now I don't have that anymore because I was giving them more power in my life. I was making them responsible for my love. And so I needed them to go so that I could experience that I still love myself and I'm still enough even though they're gone. Nothing is missing even though they're gone. Even though they are not here, they're with somebody else doing the very thing that I feared. I'm still sufficient and significant within myself. And I started to experience that. And then their relationship with that person ended, and sure enough, what they came right back because I created that reality because I needed it. I needed to realize that I am whole no matter who is in my life. If somebody is here, I'm whole. If somebody is gone, I'm whole. My wholeness, my love, my sufficiency, my value is not dependent on anything external. It's all coming from the internal reality. And because of that, I generate abundance. I generate love. I generate community. I generate joy. I generate healing. I generate magic because I know that I am sufficient within myself. The moon just moved into Gemini, and so the moon in Gemini is the energy of our perception, your perceived reality. And this energy is also very significant because the sun is in the last days of Leo, and the sun in Leo is our creative self-expression. And so with the moon in Gemini, which is how we think in the words, right? So it's like, what are you thinking about yourself? What are you thinking about your presence in the world? What are you like? Are you thinking I'm enough? I'm valuable everywhere I go. I bring change and transformation and love and joy. Everything I do touches things change to go. All the clients in my life, their lives are transforming and shifting in ways that they are renewed and rejuvenated because everything that I do is geared towards love and evolution and joy. Nothing that comes in my life can withstand the force of love that I am emitting. Everything that comes in my life is totally enveloped in love and joy and goodness and healing and transformation. This is my declaration. Why? Because the moon is in Gemini, and I know that what I declare, the universe will have to place a reality around it and collapse it until it comes into existence. So it's very significant that we do our intentions, that we do the rituals, and that we speak it into existence so that we can live into our true identity as the divine on this planet. All right, you all. Peace and blessings. You guys can go register for the 13 moons in my link tree, or you can send me. You can register also on my website. If you want to do natal chart readings, you can do that also on my website, new moon, full moon readings. The moon work there will be, today is the 19th, so you have the 19th, the 20th, the 20th. You have 4 days to register. The price is $111 per month. And you can cancel anytime. But like you guys heard, Tamu has been here, and the work has transformed her life, right? And she's not the only one. We're all being transformed by our work and the work that we're doing and the devotion and the dedication. And here's what the moon work offers: consistency. What most people don't have and they miss is consistency. They do it for a little while, and if you don't show up consistently and you stop watering your plants, they die. So this work allows you to stay consistent, right? Because it's in your consistency that you get to see the seed go into tree form and then bear fruit, because you have to stay consistent. And what happens is many of us will do our work and then it starts to work and we're like, "Oh, it's working." And then you stop doing it. You stop being consistent. And when you're not consistent, it dies. So if you need a practice that is going to be consistent, that is going to keep you regular, that is going to keep you in, this is the only thing in town. This is it. And I'm doing it every month, and I've been doing it for years. So if you want to build your power and your consistency, come work with me because you will get the results, because I am there every day and you will be too. That's right. And that's right. And we're more accountable. That's right. When we have one another, we show up. And our power grows when we have one another. That's the thing. The more of us that come together, the more our power grows. All right, you guys. Peace and blessings. Have a really beautiful day. Bye-bye.